in case you're listening for the first time, I work at a Broadway costume shop, and so there are these 2 boxes of yarns right up by my desk, and every time I walk by, they're like stored, you know, high, like as if they were on these shelves. Every time I walk by, I go, okay, we're trying something new. Face very close to the camera. Welcome to my podcast. For now, it's called String Theory, but it may not be called that for that much longer. There's a yarn dyer who has the String Theory yarn, and that person's not me. Okay, so welcome to the String Theory podcast. My name is Emily. I live in Brooklyn, New York, with my boyfriend Tim and my kitty cat Lola. This podcast is pretty much all about knitting. I have to go ahead and admit that I'm not doing any sewing. I've done a lot of recording in the last month, but no uploading because I'm having a personal crisis. So yeah. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It's really nice to chat with you. So, I got the signature needles that I ordered. They're the new signature sock needles, and I'm gonna open them. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I've been wanting these for so long. Size 1, 6-inch needle length, 40 inches overall length. So I can do 2 at a time, so toe-up socks. Yay! I love them so much. I want to use them right away. Yay! Okay, so other stuff that I've been up to lately this week is mostly making project bags. And so I have a little bit of sewing for you to show you. This one I made on Tuesday night after going to the doctor for some blood tests. On Monday I had to go get some blood tests also. I didn't have any knitting with me, so that was really rough. So on Monday night I just cast on a sock because I had to go back the next day and get more blood drawn. So I needed a simple vanilla sock, which I had never done before, strangely enough. Even though I've been knitting for 10 years, I just always picked really ambitious socks, patterned socks, which are very cute, but they take a little bit more concentration. So I really appreciate this knitting community so much because the strategy of always having a vanilla sock with you has measurably improved my life, particularly this week. So I don't have any project bags either. I've been using just like little tote bags that I have laying around. So I made this project bag on Tuesday night, and with fabric that I've had for a long time, and I think it's very cute. So here's the lining. This is the sock that I cast on Monday. Today is Sunday. So I did this week. I'm gonna do an afterthought heel, and then I wanna do toe socks. So I did that, and then I have done this. I had been not casting on socks because I was waiting for the opportunity to buy and use signature needles 2 at a time, but I just realized that it was silly to wait. I mean, I can make a pair of socks with the needles I have and then buy signature needles and then use signature needles if I want to. So yesterday, because I really enjoyed making the project bag, I decided that I wanted to make a box project bag. I found a tutorial or a page. I looked at several YouTube videos about how to make a box bag, and it's really easy. that tells you how to, like, the magic formula to make the box any size you want. I don't know if the formula is wrong or if it was user error. Most likely it was user error. But I wanted a bag that was like the square version of this, maybe a tiny bit smaller, but not this small. This is like not big enough to put a pair of socks into. But anyway, I think it's really cute. It's got a little metal zipper. Anyway, so it's not big enough for socks, but it ended up being the perfect size for a Notions bag. So I have my sheet tape measure in it, which Georgie gave me a million years ago. And I have my stitch markers and some cable needles and these scissors that I love, and this thingy. You know what this is. Needle size measurer. So, starting out with the elephant in the room, I got a haircut, and I think it's really cute. It's a little bit shorter than what I was anticipating, but I really like it. It's hot now, it's summertime, so we went to a wedding the day before yesterday that was outside, and we were dancing and everything, and I just like was so happy that I didn't have long hair. Have an almost finished object to show you, which is these socks. I want to find a contrast to do the heels and toes because I just think that would be really cute. I want to do toe socks, and those are already a little bit crazy looking, so I want to do them in a solid color, which I don't have, so that's why I haven't finished these, and then the heel will match. So the other thing that I've been up to recently is making a baby quilt for my very, very best friends in the whole world who had a baby. Her name is Emma. But I just wanted to address perfectionism as a feminist issue because I've been thinking about this a lot lately and doing a little bit of research on it, and I want to talk about it more in the future in more detail, but I just, like, as women, we have so many expectations on us, and this will relate to the quilt. We have so much pressure put on us. Like, you have to look a certain way, you have to weigh a certain amount, you have to work twice as hard to get half as far. You know, you get criticized for the way you speak. You get criticized for like literally everything about you, your body, your person, your mind, everything. So I think that it naturally follows that women are hard on A, each other, and B, ourselves, most importantly. And I really fall into this trap. I never thought that I was a perfectionist before because I'm like a very laid back person. And I also have a hard time getting things done a lot of the time. So I used to think that perfectionism was, you know, people who are sort of type A, which I'm not. And, but then in high school, I had a math tutor, because I was not doing well in math. And we were doing my homework together, and we got like 3 problems in, and I didn't want to continue because I didn't know how to solve the 3rd problem. And she was like, "Oh, you're a perfectionist." And that sort of blew my mind because it made me think about it in a new way, like perfectionism being me putting so much pressure on myself to get everything perfect that if I can't get the entire math homework perfect or the entire knitting project perfect, I'll just not do it at all, you know? And there's so much stress and weight carried on the finished product that I just don't even want to try. So then that really opened my mind and helped me learn a little bit about myself, but I'm not sure that it necessarily helped me get over the problem. I mean, you know, knowing what about the issue is sort of half the battle a lot of the time, but I recently like started thinking about this and heard about it, you know, somebody else in another podcast that I was listening to this week, an audio podcast, was talking about this as a feminist issue, and it just made me so angry because it's not fair. Men are not raised this way. Men are not pressured to, you know, be perfect, and they're encouraged to just start and try and fail, you know? And like, I really now want to reject perfectionism. It makes me so angry, and now I feel very motivated to get over this issue in myself, because I think that I used to, like when I discovered that I was a perfectionist long ago, I used to carry it as a badge of honor, you know, thinking that it was like I have a high standard for quality, which is a good thing, but when that really, like, when you put so much pressure on yourself, when I put so much pressure on myself to do something perfectly, you know, I won't start things. It really holds me back in like hobbies, you know, things that bring me joy, but also in work and like my career. And I just really want to be better about that. How this relates to the quilt is that almost 4 years ago, I became interested in making a quilt. I wasn't like, I'm gonna be a quilter. And I started one, and I'll show you right now. It's really cute. This is the 4 square quilt on Pearl Soho's website. And it's just throw size. And of course, being me, who I am, I jumped into kind of an ambitious project without really knowing what I was doing. So this is one of the squares. It's got a yellow and gray theme, and I love it. And then this is another thing. And I got only this far. Here, I'll show you this more close up because this deserves, it's really pretty and it deserves some airtime. So I got only this far, and I got overwhelmed because it wasn't perfect, and I threw it away. So when I was trying to think of a project for this baby, I was gonna knit her something, but it was just like I didn't really have the yarn for a thing that I mean, she's a summer baby, so I didn't want to knit her a sweater or a dress, and then I was thinking like a blanket, but then I have so many knitting projects on the needles, and knitting is really like for me right now, and that feels great. So I decided everybody's been doing this quilt along, and it looked really easy, so I decided to make her a little quilt because I felt like that was going to be faster than knitting her a blanket, and it would be sort of separate in my mind and a little less stressful to have like it not be a knitting project. Little did I know it was actually a lot of work because I didn't buy a charm pack. I mean, cutting out the squares, I cut way too many squares, so I probably have like enough for a queen size blanket now. But it turned out really cute. It was easy, and it was a huge win, and it made me feel really great. So now I feel like I can go back to this one and just get it done and put it on my couch and feel good about it, because it won't be perfect, but it'll be loved because I do love it. It's really pretty. And I just need to not stress about it. This is the thing, like this stuff, I hope this helps you, because I feel like this is a pervasive thing in the knitting and crafting communities, like perfectionism, and it's just like, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to make us happy, you know? That's why, and I don't want to like say this to shame you or like anything like that. I'm really working on this myself as well, but like, this is a thing we do for joy. We do not need to make quilts. We do not need to make sweaters. We can buy them. So take a little bit of pressure off yourself and have fun. It does not need to be perfect. The last thing I want to show you is my Sosu Mystery Knit Along shawl, because it's almost done. I just have to finish the bind off, and I love it. It's so great. I love it so much. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be done with it in like an hour. Progress, not perfection. I finished my Sosu Mystery Knit Along. The pattern is called Mystery She Wrote, and this is my favorite thing that I've ever knit. It's not blocked and the ends aren't woven in. It's been sitting on my desk for like 2 weeks now, and I don't have blocking mats, and I could totally do the like thing that I've always done, which is just soak it and then stretch it out on a towel. But I really feel like this one deserves real blocking, especially since I knitted on size 4 needles, and the pattern calls for size 6 needles, so it's already smaller than it should be, and I really want to stretch it out really good. This is it. I'm really excited. It's so pretty. This brought me a lot of joy. I don't know what else to say about that. So the next thing is my Makariri shawl. So this is by Aroha Knits, and I'm modifying the pattern quite a lot. You were supposed to go to here, and then it just like is supposed to get bigger and bigger. Like, see how there's an angle right here? It's just supposed to keep going and get bigger and bigger, but I didn't really love the shape of that, so I decided to make it decrease and instead of doing an additional lace panel. And this looks really good on me, right? So I just stopped increasing, and the center double decrease does the decreasing for me. So this does the shaping on this side, that does the shaping on this side. I wanted to keep increasing until the stitch count matched on this side and this side. Okay, so this yarn and this tiny white strip are two different things. So I wanted to stripe, maybe I could stripe with both of those going from here. But I got to like this much yarn and I got really nervous because it doesn't seem like I would have enough to do it the way I wanted to. And I've been wanting to put tassels on this, so I decided to stop using this so I could save it for tassels. And so what I'm gonna do is knit with just gray for a little while. The other thing that I've worked on is my Cozy Memories blanket. I was gonna do like this as the center and the miters all pointing towards the center, but then at one point it was all working out until I got to this square and I realized that I couldn't physically do that. So now that plan's all messed up, but I kind of don't really care. It's really fun to work on, so whatever. The other thing I've been working on are these socks. So this is Knit Picks Stroll Sparkle, which, to be honest, I'm not that crazy. I'm really not that crazy about this yarn. The sparkle, the yarn itself, the texture is a little flimsy. I don't know what it is about it, but it's not my favorite. And then the sparkle is not enough. And I'm not so happy with this either because it's really big. Like, this stretches out to that much, which that's way, way, way bigger than my ankle or my foot. So I don't know, these might end up being frogged because they're kind of too big, and like, it's frustrating working on 2 at a time. I thought I was gonna love it, but I don't think I do, which kind of sucks because these needles were expensive. But I love the tips of the needles, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. So the last thing is my Find Your Fade, which I've made a lot of progress on in the last few weeks. And it's huge. It's as tall as I am, which is crazy. So yeah. This is gonna be an absolute blanket. Okay, so it's time to move on to personal stuff. If you feel like being a stalker like I am, please stick around. I'd love to share with you because honestly, I'm like doing this to connect with people. I do have friends in my life, but I don't have anybody in my life who's like as obsessed with knitting as I am. So that's why I'm doing this. I really want to reach out to other people who love this and are passionate about it, and like, because that's something that you and I have in common. So please introduce yourself, say hello. I quit my job. I've been wanting to do this for a while. If you know me, or if you've been watching the last few episodes of the podcast, you know that I've been wanting to quit my job for a little while. And it was a really, really hard decision to come to because this job was my dream for a long time. And I have loved it. I've loved it a whole lot. But it's a really stressful environment, and I don't really deal with that very well. And I just feel like there's more that is missing in my life, and what I'm really passionate about is knitting and yarn. So I don't know what I'm gonna you know, ultimately end up doing, but I'm trying to follow my intuition with my like career choices right now, because 15 years of like trying to apply logic to my career choices has landed me into like being miserable at a job that I hate. Except for it was my dream job, so like that was a really hard thing. That was a really hard thing to give up. Even though I was miserable. But you know, I talked about it a lot with my boyfriend, and one good point that he made was that I can always go back. Like, it's not, you know, there are lots of other opportunities to do film and theater and costumes. So if I really miss it, I can go back. So it's not like the end of the world. So anyway, long story short, I have decided to sign up for classes at Parsons School for Design in New York City for graphic design. I have experience like working on websites for crafty stores, and doing like learning the Adobe programs and stuff will only boost my resume in that area. So I really feel like it's gonna give me good skills no matter what. So anyway, and also it forced me to quit my job. Like, that's part of the reason. And yes, that's a really expensive reason to sign up for a class, but I mean, it's not the only reason. So obviously, like, I'm really looking forward to the class. And anyways, so I decided to sign up for this class. It's gonna be pretty intense because it takes the place of 3 different requirements for this certificate program. It's a continuing education program. So I didn't want to be working full time, even though schedule wise I could be. I just knew that workload wise it would be way too intense. So that starts on September 15th. This is, I think, the 29th. It's almost of July. And so I emailed my boss because I couldn't find a time to talk to her at work. And I said, you know, all the stuff about how I really appreciated the opportunity that this job gave me for personal and professional development, because it really did. I really did grow as a person. But I've decided to pursue a different path, and I'm leaving on September 1st. And then, so that was in the middle of last week. And so this Monday, she comes up to me and she said, I'm very thankful that you gave me such a long lead time, but in order to afford to hire a new person, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind leaving on Friday, August 4th. I think that's the Friday. So what am I gonna do? Like, I mean, I said yes because I didn't really feel like I had a choice. I could have asked for more time, but you know, in that moment, I looked into my heart and I said, I asked myself, do I want to work an extra week? You know? No. I really feel like it's holding me back with what I actually want to do with my life, which is, you know, not this anymore, as sad as that is. And I feel like I'm so ungrateful, you know, like, it's a really great opportunity. It was a really great opportunity to be able to do this, but now it's going to be a really great opportunity for somebody else. And so that's that. Anyway, so next Friday is my last day. I want to do more podcasting, video recording / vlogging. So that's what's going on in my life. Tim is away at a bachelorette party in Florida. They're going to the Keys. that's what's going on this weekend. Usually I record on the weekends because I have a little more time than during the week, but also like Tim is home and, you know, sitting in that chair with me the entire weekend. So either that or like going to the grocery store for half an hour. So it's a little awkward. And in the past I've like, you know, been like, I'm gonna do this, you should go in the other room for an hour, but that's awkward too. And I just like, I've been feeling so stressed out, so I haven't been doing any recording in the last few weeks. So I'm sorry. There I go, looking over there again. There's nothing over there. There's a pile of knitting over there. Okay, I'm gonna sign off now. I love you guys. Please leave a comment and say hi. Just say hi, tell me what your name is. I would really love to meet you. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you very soon. Happy knitting. Bye. It does, but it doesn't. But it really does keep me from casting on new things. No, it doesn't. It doesn't keep me from casting on new things at all. I'm having an argument with myself. That's the wind blowing my camera. This is a mess. This is a total mess. See you next time.